I'm Nick. That's a Christmas tree. And this is 10 Minutes with Nick. As promised, today we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions and my advice for your New Year's resolutions. Now, once again, to the now 43 subscribers, I'm pretty sure one of them is my younger cousin, whose name I will not use, but to whom I am incredibly thankful and grateful that he has chosen to listen to this podcast. I hope he gets something useful out of it, or if they're not immediately applicable, they're useful for him as he grows older. Now, again, any of the advice I give on this podcast, take with the largest grain of salt. Go to the Greek Sea and get a large grain of salt and take my advice on that grain of salt and take them together. Do that twice a day. It's only 20 minutes if you do that, and you'll be good to go. I know this light is pretty bright, but it's that time of day. The sun is setting behind clouds, but it's setting. And I want to get the brilliance of the light behind me as we come into the new year. I want you to look into the New Year's light, not directly. That will hurt your eyes. But anyways, New Year's resolutions. My advice for them. First thing to know about New Year's resolutions. You will not accomplish them. I know. It sucks to hear. But the fundamental truth of New Year's resolutions is they're not meant to be accomplished. They are meant to simply point you in the correct direction for that new year. They're meant to help orient your life. You may not accomplish the goal. You actually can guarantee you will not accomplish the resolution. What you will do is improve incrementally. And improving incrementally is really the goal. Now, I know for some of you younger cats, you young thundercats, that improving incrementally doesn't seem like a big thing. It is, though. Year to year, incremental improvements are the way to go. You know why? Because you can't, let's take the gym as an example. You can't go to the gym today and develop a perfectly healthy physique and frame of muscle by the end of the day. It's not how that works. Going to the gym takes time. It takes repetition. And among other things, it takes some study to understand the proper way to do it without injuring yourself. Now, you might say to yourself, well, my New Year's resolution can't injure me. Is that so? How's that diet working out for you? That crash diet you jumped on? Sidebar, if you're 20 years old or 22 or younger and you jump on a crash diet or you jump on a diet of anything with the word fasting in it, intermittent fasting even, I would say, do so with extreme caution and really do so only under the guidance of a medical professional or somebody who is trained as like a nutritionist or a physical trainer or something like that. Because when you're young, really what you should do is what you should be focusing on is your activity. You should be focusing on something that's like that you can control, that you can go out, that you can jump on, and that you can do. Easy way for young people, if you feel like you're out of shape, go to the gym. Go work out, go start to get in shape. Start to get in shape. You may not get there, but what does in shape even mean? It changes. The definition changes from person to person. For my brother, Form First Movement, who you absolutely could go to as a trainer, whom I would recommend, in shape for him is squatting like 9,000 pounds and being able to do insane competitions. He is a professional level athlete. In shape for me is just not being out of breath when I walk down the hallway. I don't need to run 3 miles, but I certainly would like my cardiovascular system and physical frame to be healthy. These hand gestures I'm doing are clearly a sign of health. So there's that. And I know my hair is crazy today. It's because I'm terrified of cutting it off because my hairline is receding. That's a sign of physical health that I can't avoid. I just want it back. Anyways, so New Year's resolutions, you won't accomplish them, but they do orient you for the year. So what do you do for a New Year's resolution? Maybe instead of saying, I want to get in shape, pick something concrete. I want to lift more weight. Pick a number of more weight that you want to lift. That's obviously a gym focused one. We'll talk about other ones in a second. Cool. But you know what's nice about that? It's concrete. Which means, I know I just said you wouldn't accomplish your New Year's resolution, but you can accomplish that one, or you can see your progress to that goal. That's sort of the key. More importantly, you reach that goal and you realize you can keep going. There's more to do. But let's say you're not into let's say you're already motivated in the gym. You're looking for motivation in other arenas of life. And so you say to yourself, well, I've got a New Year's resolution. I'm going to read a book a month. Okay. Why do you want to read a book a month? I encourage you to think about the why in a lot of your resolutions, not just the book a month resolution, but the fitness resolution as well. But the book of the month is a good one to focus on. Why do you want to do that? I only say why because you need to know in case when you inevitably start to slip. The why is important because if you don't have a strong why, that resolution will slip away and you'll just feel worse about yourself. And resolutions, again, they aren't meant to make you feel worse about yourself. They're meant to orient you towards incremental improvement. And incremental improvement, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, is the way to go. But you don't want to put so much pressure on yourself that if you don't hit a random benchmark that you set for yourself, that you lose all hope. It's like, again, the reason I use the dieting example is because it's been observed multiple times throughout multiple years. People are on a diet, they slip up once and they say like, well, I can't believe I slipped up once and I should just give up all hope entirely. And they go back to their bad habits because there's some comfort they find in those bad habits. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you know fundamentally why you're doing something. And even if you don't know fundamentally why, you want to at least be aware of the fact that when you slip up, it's a when. It's not an if. When you slip up, it's okay. The horse bucked you off. Horses do that. They're large, ornery beasts, but they're also wonderful animals. Great for therapy. Unless they're throwing you off, then they're not so great. Then they generate physical therapy. But there's a reason there's a phrase that's just get back in the saddle. What I want you to focus on for your New Year's resolutions, if you've happened to listen this far. If you haven't listened this far, you can't hear me anyway, and I'm speaking into a void. But if you are still listening, first off, congratulations. You have focused a great deal. I congratulate you, as you should congratulate yourself. But focus on your New Year's resolution of rather than hitting something crazy. Like, don't say I'm going to get in shape. That's not a thing. No one's ever really in shape. Say, I'm going to improve in this, that, or the other. Start with a small thing. When you hit that, suddenly you go to yourself, wow, that's interesting. I wonder how much farther I can get. Make 2024 the year not of let me hit that goal. Let it be how far can I get before 2025. And you'll be surprised, I think, most of you, how far you will in fact get. Some of you won't be surprised. Some of you are very self-motivated people and you have a good sense of the things that you can accomplish. And I'm sure you're already doing wonderfully. For those of you who aren't doing wonderfully, it's okay. You know why? Because nobody cares. And I mean that in the best way possible. The people who love you still love you. The people who don't love you aren't going to start loving you because you hit some random benchmark or goal. And they're probably not that great anyway. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe the people who don't love you are wonderful people. I don't know. In general, just the people who love you, and the people who don't love you, don't love you. It's okay. That won't change. But you might. Incrementally. It's not a great sign off for, New Year's, but it is the sign off I've gone with. I'm Nick. That's a Christmas tree. This is 10 Minutes with Nick closing out 2023. We won't have an episode on New Year's Day. We will have an episode on January 2nd. Back to our regularly scheduled programming of random thoughts that happen to pop into my head. Have a wonderful New Year's, everybody who's gotten this far. And have a wonderful whatever other holidays you happen to celebrate. If you celebrate, I don't know what other holidays are coming up after New Year's. Just happy. Have a good one. I'm Nick, Christmas tree, 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a good one.